Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about brushless DC motor. Last class we discussed about the stepper motor characteristics, and it will have a static and dynamic characteristics, and we discussed in detail about the torque speed characteristics also. So today we are going to discuss about brushless DC motor. So the brushless DC motor is an electronically commutated DC machine where the stator is made of three-phase windings and the rotor may be a permanent magnet rotor. These machines are used for high-speed applications, and instead of normal DC machines, in normal DC machine we are giving a DC supply which is converted into alternating flux by using mechanical commutator. Whereas here the brushless DC machine will have an electronic commutator which is called it as an power switching device circuit, which is said to be simply inverter. So here the given DC input is converted into alternating flux by using electronic commutator, and then it is fed to your BLDC stator winding. So here in a block diagram where we are going to have a controller, this controller may be a microcontroller or it may be a pulse width modulation, different kind of techniques like a vector control technique or space vector control or simple PWM pulse generating control, and that is given to your driver. That driver circuit which is going to generate the pulses, and that pulses are given to your inverter circuit. This total block is said to be an inverter circuit where your BLDC motor stator will have three phase, so we are having three arm structure, and this each switches is either it is made of thyristor or transistor. That control pulse, that is a base signal or gate signal, is given through your controller driver circuit. This total setup is said to be an electronic commutator circuit, whereas this one is said to be an BLDC motor, and the rotor position is continuously monitored by using inbuilt sensor which is said to be an Hall effect sensor. So the normal construction of your brushless DC machine will have stator, and the stator will have a stator winding, and the rotor end plate will be there, and there will be an inbuilt sensor which is said to be an Hall effect sensor, and the rotor is normally made of permanent magnet rotor which is connected with the shaft, and the shaft is used to connect the load, and for free moving we are using ball bearing also. Next, the normal construction of your BLDC consists of major component is stator and another one is rotor. The stator is made up of silicon steel stamping as like other machines. The slots which present in the stator will compatible to make your armature winding, and the winding is founded with number of poles depend upon your application. Mostly in drone kind of application we are using high speed operation. In that case we require large amount of current, so with respect to that our number of poles will change, and the winding is connected with your DC supply, and the DC supply is given to your electronic commutator, and then it is fed back to your stator supply. And the second part is rotor. Here mostly in BLDC the rotor will be a permanent magnet rotor, and the rotor will have number of rotor poles is same as like the stator. For what purpose we are having the rotor and stator poles will be same is that it is similar to your multi-stack stepper motor, where it is going to make the number of revolutions in synchronizing manner. That is, it maintains the synchronization throughout the system. And we are having a rotor position sensor which is used to identify with, or which is used to find the each position of your rotor, and normally in BLDC we are preferring Hall effect sensor. And the last part is electronic commutator, simply inverter circuit. So next, the BLDC motor rotor construction. Normally the rotor construction will be depend upon the position of your magnets. So the first rotor structure may have a circular core with magnet as a periphery. In the second structure, the circular core with the rectangular magnets which are embedded inside the rotor. And the third one will be the circular core of your rotor having a rectangular magnet inserted as like a poles. Normally these kind of rotors are preferred in your BLDC application. And the second part will be an electronic commutator. The electronic commutator inverter is classified into two types. The three-phase inverters are either it will be 180 degree or it will be 120 degree. Depend upon the switching operation, the angle will be set. Here normally in your BLDC we are preferring 180 degree mode. So the 180 degree mode circuit will have the construction diagram or the circuit diagram will be like this, where we are having three arms. This one is arm 1 and this one is arm 2 and this one is arm 3. So the each arm output is considered as a single phase output. For example, your arm 1 will have two switches T1 and T4 and the connection will be generating the voltage which is said to be VA0 voltage, and the second arm will responsible for VB0 and third arm is responsible for VC0. And we are already aware that the inverter will have 6-step pulse generating inverter. Here the arm 1 will have T1, T4. The number will be depend upon your identification, or for your simplicity you just name whatever the number. Here I just name T1, T3, T5, that is odd number on upper side, and T4, T6, T2 for my simplicity, where the even numbers are the lower side. So the upper arm switches are responsible for positive switches and the lower arm switches are responsible for negative switches. For example, if T1 is turned on, then the positive half cycle is generated, whereas the T6 or T2 is turned on, the negative half cycle is trying to generate. And another thing, in each arm, two switches will not turned on at a time. That means if T1 is turned on, T4 must be in off condition. If both the switches are turned on, short circuit will be happen, which damages the total system. So the condition is T1 is turned on, T4 must be in off condition. As like if T6 is turned on, T3 must be in off condition. Similarly vice versa. And the third one which you have to know is, we have to find out the switching operation of your each arm switches. For example, if you are considering your arm 1 which is set to be in 0 degree phase, that is, we already know 3 phase, each phases will be separated by 120 degree phase shift. So the arm 1 will have T1 and T4. So T1 will be started at alpha 0 position. And we know that each switches must be turned on for 180 degree. Why? Because it is an 180 degree mode. So the 180 degree conduction will be happened for arm 1. Once it reach 180 degree, then the T1 switch must be off and the T4 switch has to be turned on. And again next to 180 degree, T1 must be off and T4 must be turned on. And we know that your arm 2 will be 120 degree phase shift. So I know that my second arm 2 positive cycle switch must be turned on from arm 1 120 degree. So 120 degree your switch has to be turned on, and T3 it will conduct for next 180 degree. After that T6 must be turned on, and after that again T3. And the third arm switch must be turned on at 240 degree of your arm 1. So 240 your T5 switch has to be turned on, and the T2 will be turned on at next 180 degree mode. And previously we know that when T5 is in off condition, your T2 has to be turned on for next 180 degree. In reverse manner you have to mark the values. So this will be the basic circuit diagram and the mode of operation of your circuit. Next we will go with the different cases. We already know in case 1. How the cases will be considered is, we have to know the simple construction. When you drawn this arm 1, arm 2, arm 3 conduction, each 60 degree the switching operation will change. For example, if you consider this as an 60 degree, in 60 degree arm 1 T1 is turned on, arm 2 T6 is turned on, arm 3 T5 is turned on. That is explained in the case 1. So case 1 will be 0 to 60 degree, where T1, T6 and T5, that is T1 At that time T4 is in off condition. Here the T6 is turned on, so T3 is off condition. Here T5 is turned on. So we know that 2 upper arm switches and 1 lower arm switches must be turned on for 3-phase conduction. Normally in 3-phase conduction, we have to know that whenever the conduction must be in 3-phase conduction in inverter, any one switch must be either upper arm switch or lower arm switch. For example, in this case, the one switch is lower arm switch, remaining 2 may be upper arm switch. In some other case, one switch only be an upper arm switch, remaining 2 switches must be lower arm switch. Whatever the condition it will be, whenever the 3-phase supply is given to your machine, it is prior that any one switch may be upper arm or lower arm switch has to be turned on. So from that, the case 1, 2 upper arm switch and 1 lower arm switch. In case 2, 2 lower arm switch and 1 upper arm switch. In case 3 again, 2 upper arm switch and 1 lower arm switch. So the upper arm switch is responsible for positive conduction and lower arm switch is responsible for negative conduction. That is explained here. The detail of this waveform, how the waveform is generated and what are all the case conditions and how the impedance diagram is explained, that all are explained in separate PDF which I will share with you in our class activity. And this will be your 3-phase output waveform which is given to your machine. Here this one will be phase 1 waveform, that is VA0, and this one will be VB0. Likewise the third one will be VC0. And the last parameter will be Hall sensor. We know that the Hall sensor will be an magnet electrical which two are perpendicular to each other. The third one will be the force which generated exactly perpendicular to your system. So by that principle, your system will develop a magnetic field that along with an electric current, a Hall voltage perpendicular to the field and current is generated. This will be the actual signal developed by your Hall sensor that is given to your feedback signal which we discussed in our previous block diagram. By that, we will have a simple applications of BLDC will be some consumer type. It may be used as an hard drive or CD drive system. In medicals, it may be mostly used in artificial heart surgery, microscope, or the dental surgical tool organ transplantation, because in dental surgical it is more minute structure and it will have a variable speed depend upon the tooth shape. And third, it may be used as the electric vehicle or drone kind of application. And the last one will be, it may be used for some self-launching sail plane, or it may be used for some robotic applications also. By that, we will wind up the session. In next class, we will discuss about the servo applications and servo construction and working. Thank you.